Excuse me. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Draw. It's been 2 weeks. Almost, well, 2 weeks from Monday Night Draw, and just over a week since we've done a live stream. So thank you all for coming and hanging out with us again. Meredith is back together. She's managed to sleep. She basically.
I'm here.
She couldn't. Sometimes she can't sleep, and she couldn't. And my microphone's
Sometimes
over
I
here.
can't sleep, and sometimes it's really bad.
It was like 5 days in a row. She hit the wall.
I ended up with a migraine.
Yeah. So.
Oh, the curses of middle age.
Yeah, a little bit. Alan Mata Art has had a bad day, so he's here to bring it around. So hopefully we can help with that.
Alan, I hope that we help you. I have had my share. I was just talking to someone about having my share of bad days. And you know what? I think it's important. We sometimes forget that it's okay to just have a bad day. Every time I have a bad day, I say to Dave, "What's wrong with me?" I literally say those words. "What's wrong with me?" And Dave says, "You have this all the time."
Yeah.
Like that. He's like,
yeah. And then a day later, she's fine, or 2 days at most. But
he's like, "You'll be fine in a couple of days. Go to bed.
So
hang out, whatever." But this isn't the what's wrong with me stream, apparently. This is the Punisher stream. Dave's going to punish us with the Punisher.
Hopefully it won't be too
punishing.
Okay, so today's Punisher. Let me move my camera. This is for you, Henry.
I agree with Lance DeBoyer. Lance DeBoyer says a bad day makes the good days even better. And it's so true, Lance. When I have an exceptional day where I'm just like on top of the world, all I can say is, thank you, Jesus.
So there's my layout. There you
I'm
go.
having my own conversation without you.
I saw Lance DeBoyer wants Pitt, and I have been promising Pitt.
I asked him tonight, Lance. Before we went live, I went like, why Punisher? Why not Pitt?
I also promised that I would do Punisher. And I promised in the chat or in the comments on the last live that I would do Punisher. So I don't want to be a liar. So we're doing Punisher, and I really wanted to do Punisher.
He does what he wants. I try.
And you know what?
I want you to know, Lance. Before we went live, I said, "What happened to Pitt?"
Yes.
So there you go.
So Pitt's coming. I also I really want to do Moon Knight in the TV show costume.
Well, you can't do it anytime soon. Oh my gosh.
I should wait for the show, you think?
You literally just did Moon Knight.
Did I?
Yeah.
When? I don't remember doing
on the full moon. On the Monday that Moon Knight was previewed on the Super Bowl.
Oh, right. A little sketch of him. That's right. Okay. Well, anyway, so at some point I want to do that.
Ross H. Fam has a super chat for $1.99. Ross says, I wish I could go live with you. We wish it would be fun if we had like one big live party. Yeah, everybody was here.
Especially if I could just sit back and watch.
Yeah, I'll draw that one.
There you go.
That party would last about 5 minutes.
Yeah, Tom Morris and his daughter was home from school. I just saw he just posted, and so they were drawing yesterday, and they did a character that he said an OC, which is an original character.
Very nice.
And very related to this one.
Apparently. I have to thank Amy Morris, who sent me the sweetest painting of Patches, because Tom has sent us a few paintings. So thank you, Amy. I keep meaning to it just came on Friday, and I keep meaning to Facebook message you, but every time I think to Facebook message you, I'm not in front of my computer, if that makes sense.
No, it does. This is the bane of my life.
You're like, I really need to do this thing, but the time that I think that I need to do this thing, it's not even possible for me to do this thing. And then when the time that I could do this thing, I don't even think about it because I'm busy doing other things.
Yeah.
The worst. So thank you, Amy. I love it. I love Patches. My Patches picture.
Alan Mata says, so Dave, you like the TV costume? Interesting.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't know. Is that controversial to say? I liked it.
Here's all I'm going to say. Here's all I'm going to say. Why they always have to be different? You're doing a comic book character. Honestly, like I'm not saying I don't like the costume because I thought the costume was cool, but couldn't you like at least pay homage to like all of the creators in the past who've drawn that character?
You know what? It's a.
I mean, it doesn't even like they don't even feel like they're making any reference. They're like scattershot picking parts of Moon Knight.
I thought it looked really good, and
I'm
I
not
thought it
saying-
was pretty true to Moon Knight.
Okay.
And it was very textured, which you need to be for
Is he
a
two
live
people?
action.
I know he's two people, but he's still Mark Spector and Moon Knight, not Mark Spector and somebody else in Moon Knight. Or I've not read the book, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Am I talking about in my butt?
Honestly, there's so much Moon Knight lore over the years.
So what do I know?
I'm like hesitant.
I'm just going to stop talking. I mean, I'm not saying that we're not going to watch the show because it looked incredible. But I'm like, why does it always have to be so different?
Why couldn't it be exactly
why
the way
so
that I
different? Oh, Kenny Wang says TV costume is sick. The comic costume looks super lame. The only reason it looks good is because Dave makes everything look good.
Oh, how do you say that?
Oh, Kenny. And there you go. Truth. Kenny speaks the truth, apparently. All right. I've got another super chat from Random Pat for $5. Hey, David Meredith. Hope all is well. I was wondering when the next painting stream will be, and will you be doing any more portfolio critiques? I don't know. Is Robert Marzullo ever going to talk to you again?
Okay, that's on me right now, actually.
Just because, like, I'm sure Robert's like, to heck with that Dave Finch guy.
Well, the problem is that everybody's busy. Like, he's had a lot of stuff come out lately. He's been putting out some really great content, and I know he's busy, and I've been busy, and we have not talked for. It's been too long. We need to do that, and I refuse to do a portfolio stream without him. I mean, I can't do it. I also really would like to have howtodrawcomics.net there. So
there you
because they're great.
Henry Jeremick says, Meredith, can you please tell Dave that he still has to do the Bernie Wrightson homage Swamp Thing versus Man Thing?
Oh yeah, I got that one too.
So there you go.
Well, you know what? The Moon Knight's going to be a little bit, because I do think it'd be better for me to actually, not that I would ever think about, gee, what might get more views, but I do, and it would with the show. So I'll wait. So also, we have an announcement.
Do you have Kleenex down here? Do you have any tissues?
I don't. We have an
I
announcement.
feel a little stuffy. We have an announcement
coming up at about
8:20.
8:20 or thereabouts.
8:20-ish.
8:20-ish. So. Getting this all kind of sketched in.
Spirit here. Retro has a super chat for £5. Spirit says, Dave and Meredith. Haha. No question. Just wanted to say hi. Hi, Spirit Retro.
Hi, Spirit. Thank you very much.
You guys are so glad I wasn't on last week because you would not get this much energy.
Well, it did come to it, like, because Meredith actually said, "I'll do it. It's fine. I'll do it." But
it was bad. Like, it was bad. It would not have been good. It would not have been a good situation. Sometimes you just need to take a little you time. Already, the princess is down here.
That's the cat.
All right. I'm gonna keep yawning. Because I'm still not sleeping. Like I have a good night of sleep and then a not good night of sleep. And I normally go to bed at 8 o'clock. I mean, we all know I normally go to bed at 8 o'clock. So I don't think I'm saying anything new.
Somebody asked about painting streams.
Especially yawning tonight. Painting streams.
I have a couple of them on deck. I actually have Ariel Olivetti coming up soon. We need to finalize the date, but he has agreed, which is incredible. He's so good and so entertaining to watch. And anyway, I'm excited about that one. So that will be coming up soon. And I also have, okay. I feel like I put people on the spot when I do this, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not just going to say who it is, but I have an incredible a Copic marker. Actually, I don't even know that he used Copics, but whatever. Copic style marker and mixed media artist who both Eric and I are massive fans of. That hopefully will be soon. Last time I talked to him, he was just moving, and so it was just a matter of him being able to be, have the new place set up well enough that he could do it. So hopefully that will be soon too. So we've got a couple of them planned. And yeah. Done.
All right. Rich Ware says the TV costume ain't right. He ain't a mummy. He has a silver cape. Silver for a reason. And he's 3 people.
Yeah, he's Mark Spector.
Moon Knight. And somebody else.
Now, the one that I did was Mark Spector. So to me, he's Mark Spector.
Story by Osmosis says Moon Knight is 4 people. So what do I know?
Anyway, I thought it looked very good. And
I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I'm going to watch it.
Look, my fear was that they would end up doing more of the suit just with the hood, which is a very cool costume. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the Moon Knight it's not my favorite.
Oh, no, I don't like that costume at all. Oops. That's a terrible costume. That's not a superhero costume.
Okay, well, I think it looks very cool.
In my personal opinion, and I don't know much about comics, except I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. It wasn't my favorite. No apologies to the artist who designed that costume. I'm entitled to my opinion.
Yeah, too late now.
Too late now. Sorry, whoever it was. See, I don't know. So
this is why I don't make statements like, "Yeah, that sucked."
I didn't say I didn't
because
like that costume.
I inevitably will know the artist or
you know everybody though. So yeah. I can't. Am I not allowed to have an opinion?
No, you're not.
Well,
That's what I'm trying to say here.
I do have an opinion. Jamal Rashid is bailing me out with a super chat for $4.99. Jamal says, "Hey family, glad to see y'all are better. God is good. Happy to be here for a Monday Night Draw, and I'm struggling with woman anatomy. Any advice?"
That's a very broad question. I would say I have some videos up about it. And just quickly speaking, there's really no information that I could impart that would not be in those videos. If it's something specific, then yes, I could talk about it. I'd be happy to, but I don't know what I would be able to say.
You did how to draw a female anatomy video, right?
Yeah. Well, what I did, female torsos, female hips, female heads, hair. There are things that I haven't covered. Yeah. And okay, so like legs, the anatomy is the same, but the proportions are just slightly different. Things like that. And I should cover those coming up, but yeah, it's very broad to just, jump into trying to assume.
I think you need to do a video on female anatomy, because I got a text from somebody who says they too are struggling.
All right.
With female anatomy. So there's consensus.
All right.
That people are struggling with the female anatomy, Dave. Well, I personally, I'm fine.
I just did eyes. Just did a video on eyes. That came out today. In case any of you guys have not seen it yet. I mean, it just came out a couple hours ago. So, fair enough if you haven't seen it. But that one's out. That one's new. And I had some people asking for that. So hopefully that one is helpful. I put a lot of thought into it. It's so tough because I feel like, okay, I could do these videos and just try and make the pictures look as cool as I can and just, create like a really cool looking picture, but nobody's going to learn anything from that. It's really breaking down the construction and how things fit. And so the video is very much about how to get eyes fitting in the skull properly from different directions, that kind of thing. So hopefully it's a good one.
Story by Osmosis says Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley, and Moon Knight, and apparently an inner child. Those are the Moon Knight.
Yeah, and now that he says it, I
recognize all that.
But perfect. For me, it was Mark Spector.
So. Yes. Sid V says Mr. Finch is trying not to offend anybody, and Meredith doesn't care.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the story of our relationship. Actually, Dave does not want to offend anybody, and Meredith doesn't care.
Look, what the fact is, it's balancing.
It's not that I don't care. But I will say what needs to be said when I feel the need to say it. But you won't.
No.
You'll just say it to me. And then I say it.
Oh, believe me, I can rant with the best of them.
Yeah, but not to people.
No.
You won't say it to people.
Partly because I don't feel like... Look, I've got an opinion. I don't know that my opinion is any better than yours, so I really don't feel like I want to sit here and start throwing it at you. Also, it's impossible to have opinions without upsetting people, and I like the fact that we have a unified community around what we have, and we have so much in common. And so to bring up things like that will start dividing us.
Well, Paul Essenson says, it's okay, Meredith. Having Moon Knight in a suit is kind of silly. It's like if Batman went around in a tux. So there.
Paul Essenson gets a final word.
That's right. Thank you, Paul. My new favorite person.
Okay, you're yelling. You're yelling.
Yeah, well, it's Monday night. I also am like a third of your volume. So there. See, that's you. That's me.
Here. Help you with that.
Hey. So mean. Anatomy of the Mix says, I'm struggling with females too. Where do you find one?
What's so funny?
Where do you find one?
Oh,
Awesome. Everybody liked your eye tutorial.
good. Thank you. Really. Thank you.
Consensus on the eye tutorial is it's good. All right, I just make sure I'm not missing any super chats. I'm not paying very good attention tonight.
So Eric just went on vacation with his family.
You went to Disney?
Haven't had a chance to talk to him since he got back.
He's back. He had a great time. They all want to go back.
Oh, good.
Brooklyn loved it.
Oh, great.
They walked 30 miles.
Yeah.
That's a lot of walking. I told Eric that Brooklyn made us into drunks. Or Brooklyn, not Brooklyn, Disney. Because Disney, you're like, let's have a mimosa for breakfast so we can get off on this day with the kids. And then let's have a mimosa at lunch so we can make it through lunch the afternoon.
You know what? Okay, really? I had a beer at lunch.
It was for you.
I had a beer at lunch.
You did.
And I did because, yeah.
Dave is not a people person, and there's a lot of people at Disney.
It's hard.
It was hard. It was hard on Dave.
It's tough. So I had a great time. We
enjoyed it. I would go back again in a heartbeat. Yeah. Isaac loved it. Loved happiest place on earth.
And there's a bunch of new stuff that we haven't seen.
There is all the Avatar stuff,
Star Wars stuff. There's a bunch of Disney stuff too.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's all Disney, but there's a bunch of
all kinds of stuff. We got to go back. I could go back in March. Random Pat has a super chat for $5. In perspective, when the vanishing points are way off the page, how does one maintain consistent perspective, especially when it's 2 or 3 point?
Okay. That is a good question, and I appreciate it, and thank you. Here we go. I'm going to draw you a diagram because my camera won't capture it if I'm way off the page. So here's my page. Actually, why would I waste a page? I'm not going to waste a perfectly good page for that. Here we go. Here's my page. So I'm just going to say, we don't even need to do a 3 point. I'm just going to do a 2 point perspective. Here's my horizon. And I'm going to put 1 point way over here. And this is a page, so it's, that big, which is going to be a problem right away. And then I've got another point, let's say over here. And so my solution to that is I take another piece of paper exactly like this one, and I just tape it right here. So I just use, it doesn't matter. You can use masking tape, which is what I use. It comes off fine. If it's only on there for a minute, it's never a problem. And then you can see this point is way over here. I avoid this at all costs because it's such a massive headache, because it's not just the paper, but it also ends up being my ruler that's too short. But if that happens, what I end up doing is just taping a whole other piece of paper again, like this, so I can do it. And then I've got the big yardstick, meter stick, whatever, the big one. I've actually had to tape 2 of those together before. This is insanity, but I've done it. And so I've got 2 of these stupid rulers taped together. Here's one, here's the other taped to that one, so I can get my points. And then I find my points all the way across the page this way. And then I'll take this piece of paper, I'll untape it from here, I'll tape it here, and do the same thing. That is how I do it. I've done it that way for years. Some of you might be thinking, you're nuts. Like, what a massive hassle to go through. But I find when I have a really good grid that is fully realized and in perspective, and I know the perspective points are fine, it saves me so much trouble. And the alternative to doing this, and I see this quite a bit, and Tomic Art, by the way, not to call you out, Tomic, because Tomic is drawing pages now, and they're incredible. Like, he's doing so well. The storytelling is looking really good. It's looking really good. There are some problems. The big problem that I'm finding is that at times, Tomic will have a panel, and he'll have perspective that is like this. And so his points are just too close together. And what you end up with, if you have, in your perspective, you have this, you're fine, because you have basically a diamond shape that is longer this way than it is vertically, and that's fine. But the minute that you get longer vertical than you are horizontal, you get into an area where the human eye couldn't see, like it's just too far out, and you need some kind of crazy fisheye. It always looks bad. Almost always looks bad. I would say, especially when you're learning, avoid having your points too close together and having that effect. So that's why it's really good to use paper and just do it right. There are times I will actually cheat this. I'll say, okay, I've got a point here, and so I'll put my ruler there, and then I figure the other one's going to be about there, and then I just kind of I map it out, and I don't actually find the point. That can work, but I don't recommend doing that until you really know what you're doing, because problems, even mild problems in perspective where a building's out, ruins the picture.
David, 20 after.
Oh, it's 20 after, and I don't see. He's not here yet, though. Okay. We have a guest. I did.
Did you send a link?
I did. Check with him. Do you mind? We're going to check with our guest. I mean, strictly speaking, he's a minute late, so, I'm not going to panic.
Maybe he's having. I'll say, we are ready for you. All right. While we wait for our guest, I'll scroll down and find another super chat from Fads for $14.99. Fad says, "Hey Dave, would you ever draw anime characters in your own comic style? My fave is Itachi from Naruto. P.S. Thanks so much for everything you do. Please never ever stop."
Never. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I definitely would not stop. Is that something you guys would want to see? Because I don't know. I could draw an anime character and draw it, or try and draw it in an anime style, and it would be a real struggle, and it might be fun to watch me struggle with it. I think I could do it, not as well as people that actually do that, though. But it would be fun to do it in my own style. It just would be very different. So, and our guest is here.
Oh, he's here. All right, here we go.
All right, we're gonna bring him in.
Drum roll. I don't know where the drum roll is.
Me neither. I forgot.
It doesn't
You're
matter.
gonna do it?
I can't find it. No, you took it off.
That might be page 2.
No, there's no drum roll. No drum roll.
We had one.
Sorry.
All right,
we're just gonna bring it.
Here we go.
Here we go. We tried, Jason.
So
that's okay.
Ray, to help us announce our announcement is Jason. I can never pronounce it.
Schachter.
Schachter. Thank you. I need to say that 10 times. I'll never forget.
Say Jason it now, Schachter. Dave. Do it now. Schachter.
Now we're gonna appear like Candyman.
Turn around. Owner of Essential Sequential. He's my art dealer, along with many other incredible artists, including Tim Sale and Tim Sale is my favorite. So Tim Sale, and the
Cuberts,
Andy Kubert, Adam. Yeah, that's right. A lot of phenomenal
Lee
artists. Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah.
Don't forget about Lee.
I can't believe it. Yeah. Okay, Lee Weeks.
Good thing you have your wife in the background.
I know. Yeah.
Bailing you out.
Well, the problem is, Jason, I draw a blank when I do this kind of, I'm the worst at this. I can't remember names, like really my own name, I forget. So that's why I kind of stopped there. I'm like, and so, I'm going to hand it over to you, Jason, so you can
make the
tell
big
everybody
announcement
what we've got going on. And while you do that, I'm going to keep drawing in the background.
Okay, great. What are you drawing there, Batman?
A Punisher. Oh, that was a joke, right?
Yeah, it was a little joke. So the big announcement that we have tonight is we're ready to launch your Kickstarter project for your new Monday night draw art book. It's finally here, ready to go. We put all the finishing touches on it this week and this weekend. So we wanted to make sure all of your fans in the Finch art community was able to get in early and first before anyone else sees the project later on tonight and tomorrow.
The fans of Monday night get the announcement on the Monday night.
Yes.
And all the good stuff before anyone else.
I have a, let's see. I'm going to do a screen share.
Okay.
This is always a trying thing whenever I do it. And they don't make it easy. It's a million buttons. Wow. All right, here we go. So this is so Jason, this is what I've got right now because it's coming up. I'm not seeing the whole page, so you might want to talk about some of the tiers and things that we've got.
Yeah, well, we can. Do you want to launch it now, and everyone can take a look with us? And
okay, do it.
Peruse. Okay.
Right. Oh, you guys are live for the launch! It's a live launch.
We're drum rolling.
I don't have a drum roll.
It's now live. So
I don't even know if that's what I'm playing, or I might be playing the car crash.
Okay. Hit the refresh button. It should go live.
Okay, here we go. Hit refresh. It's loading.
Yeah.
There we go. It's live.
Boom.
So it says stuff about Meredith and I, and this is what the book is ultimately going to look like. So did you want to talk about some of the tiers while I go through this?
Yeah. We like to do a little bit of everything here and make sure everybody has a chance to buy something cool. So we started off tonight. You can save $10 off the book if you're one of the first, let's see, 20 or so donators. You'll get the book for $20. And obviously it goes up a little bit from there. The regular retail price is $30. So if you get it in quick, you will save a few dollars. From there, we got our amazing Finch t-shirt.
And totally different than the one that I have up that you can find in the comment section or the community section on YouTube. It says Monday Night Draw on the back. Very cool, actually. I saw the front already. I have not seen the back. Looks great. I love it.
We can change things up a little bit if if you decide. I think
it's good. I like it. It looks great.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. Let me get the link for you guys to put into the stream here so people can just click on it real quick.
Okay. Perfect.
In case anyone wants to donate. Let me get this here. Where are you? How do I get to do a chat? How do I
just send it to me and I'll send it to Eric and Eric will put it in the stream. Just text it to me even.
Oh, okay.
It's a 3-step process.
There you go. Okay. I didn't even see that you texted me before. Okay, there it is. So you can pop it into the chat there.
Allison McGlone is back at number 1.
Whoa.
First one.
We haven't even put up the link. Thank you so much, Allison.
Allison, you're the best.
For backers. Okay, so we have the t-shirt. We have the book that will come with a signed book plate because obviously Dave's going to be staying at home, I think, most of the year. Yeah. So we'll just have a nice signed book plate to include with each of his books. From there, go ahead.
This is the book plate. This is the cover, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll add a little area to sign down below for this tier. If you like to add a shirt to your book, we got it going on for you, and you'll save a few dollars as well. We're going to do a special cover, which will be either gold, I think gold or maybe rose gold. I don't know. We'll leave it up to Meredith to decide what she likes best for the foiled edition. And after that, I don't know. Have you shown your Blight and Pestilence art to anybody yet?
Yeah. I actually posted it on Instagram a couple of months ago, so I have shown it.
Okay. Well, We're going to do a gallery edition giclée of your artwork that should be around 14 by 20 on a nice hard press Arches board. And that'll be limited to just the Kickstarters who are donating for the giclée. So if only 5 people donate, there will only be 5. Hopefully there'll be a few more than that, though. And then obviously if you want to tag on an art book, you can do that as well. And then we've got one of my favorite tiers is a 30-minute Zoom call with Mr. Finch. And that always is a lot of fun. I don't know if it seems like you've got a lot of artists, aspiring artists in your community. This might be a good chance for them to ask specific questions about the business or your art or your career, and just hang out for a little bit and, ask some questions.
Yeah. I think that actually will be a lot of fun, and hopefully a chance to get to know some of you guys from the chat that I see all the time, and I feel like I know you guys, so that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Other than that, we've got a mystery box of prelims. So from what I'm told and what I've seen, there's a bunch of nice thumbnails and prelims that you do to create either your covers or your interior pages.
It's all covers. Generally, I never really do layouts for interior pages. I'm too lazy. So they're all covers. A bunch of Walking Dead and some other ones too. I've got some Marvel and some DC ones, and so a range. Cool.
Yeah, they sound pretty cool. So, excuse me, we'll randomly insert, one of those pieces of art with each book, which should be really cool. And then we have the limited edition sketched artist. I would call it an artist edition, which comes with an actually hand-drawn piece of art by Dave. Those we only are doing 10 of, unless we can twist your arm to do a few more, but we're only doing 10.
So yeah, right now I'm definitely thinking 10. That's one thing. I love doing it. It's very, and I'm behind on sketches as it is, so it's always
Hey, Dave.
10. We'll do 10.
Allison asked, we could always offer a spot in the D&D game as a tier. 1 spot.
Oh, how great would that be?
That would be fun.
And by the way, Meredith is playing. She's telling me today I'm not playing D&D. Oh, she's playing.
Oh, I'm playing.
It's going to be a blast.
I need a bottle of wine.
I think that's a really great idea, actually.
Yeah. Do you guys have a weekly game going?
No, we're going to start.
We have a no game going.
Allison McGlone is going to Dungeon Master for us, and we're going to play. We've been talking about it for a bit, so yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
None of my friends ever played, so I wasn't able to get into it.
I played all the time.
My parents took mine away.
And so here's the painting here. So this is basically what it looks like. And here is a layout. This is a Walking Dead layout, and it's just, basically a bigger shot to show you basically what they look like. They're all just about around that level of detail.
And which characters will they be seeing besides the Walking Dead?
Batman and X-Men for the most part. There's some is it death metal?
Death metal, yeah.
And there's the DC zombie book, Deceased, some of those. So yeah, that kind of stuff.
Very cool. Well, we're at 6,300, so we're just about hitting our goal in the first few minutes.
I'm sorry, what?
We're at 64.4, so we're almost at our goal.
Come out of here.
Actually, we just hit our goal, 6,500.
Oh my gosh!
Really?
Yeah.
You guys are the greatest. Oh my goodness! If you need a proof that your flock loved you, flock loves you.
Thank you, really, everyone. So I don't know what to say. I didn't expect that.
No, we thought, hey, we'll let you in on the Kickstarter early. Crazy time.
Well, we do have some stretch goals planned as well. I see a few people are asking about that in the comments.
We can make the D&D game a stretch goal.
A D&D, yeah. Okay, that sounds like fun.
We also have a few other ones that we've been talking about.
I know you guys have got stuff. And I just want to be part of it too.
I think that's a great idea. How about Meredith writes someone into one of her books as a character? That sounds like a fun.
That would work if I was writing books right now, Jason.
Oh,
right now I'm a farmer. I could, name my next chicken. How about I'll name my next chicken after you.
Wow, what a bonus.
I've
That
got
sounds
5
great.
chickens coming
I want to get on
in
that
April
one.
and
How-
5 ducks. Sorry, 6 chickens and 5 ducks. So
6 chicken and 5. Wow.
that's
How are,
11 opportunities for names, Jason.
I think that's a good idea.
apologize
put a little-
to Meredith.
I don't think you should apologize. People
Yeah.
want to name the chickens.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You got to put a little plaque in the barn, though.
That's right. I will. I'll make a
Yeah.
little plaque.
All right, let's do
Do I
that.
have
Let's
any
add that to-
veto power here
No.
at all?
No, you don't. See, this is why I never get on the phone with Jason, because it just goes off the rails.
And actually, I just saw a comment from Dark Air of New Vegas, and he says, "How about a Zoom call with Meredith for us writers?"
There you go. We could do that too.
Absolutely,
That can be a stretch goal.
Let me make some notes. We could put it in the update later this week and get that added. Any
All
other good ones?
D&D game.
We'll talk about it.
Chicken name. Zoom call with Meredith.
We had a couple that we had talked about
It's all
earlier
about
today.
me.
And, you know, there's certainly time. I had one actually I was very excited about, but I don't want to say it right now. I kind of want to save that one for just a little bit.
Okay.
But
All
well,
right.
before I just go back to the picture and let you get about with work, I wanted to say thank you, Jason, so much for coming on and helping with that. I'm the worst at that kind of thing, so I appreciate the help, really. And Jason
My
really
pleasure.
put this whole thing together. Everything you saw on that page, all the cool titles and the shirt and the whole works. It's all.
Thank you,
So,
Jason.
yes, thank you very much.
My pleasure. We had help from my buddy Chris Ferguson, who's doing a lot of the design work. So he's a part of the team that's been helping out with Team Finch here. So we have to say hello to him and thank you as well.
Thank you, Chris Ferguson.
Yes, thank you very much.
Beautiful design.
And thank you to all of you guys for backing it so fast. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, thank you guys. We're just about at 8,500. So
Oh my
we'll
god.
do some updates through the site. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know and enjoy the rest of the show. I wanted to say hello and can't wait to see that Punisher. And thanks for giving us some cool streams.
Not a person missed that early bird thing.
Uh-oh. It went out
Not a
fast.
person. We will sort you out. Don't you worry. Not a person has been here from
Since
the
the beginning.
beginning.
So
So yeah.
Well, we can do some giveaways later too. We'll come up
Yes.
with some cool.
we'll work something out.
contests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All
All right. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jason.
Jason.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks,
Yeah,
you too.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right, I got to roll some super chats here.
Okay.
Alan De Leon has a super chat for $5. Hey, Meredith and Dave, it's me again. You made a Dave the Eye video. Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. And thank you for the idea. It really, I should have done it a while ago. So my pleasure.
And then Duff Pappy has a super chat for $5. Hey, Dave and Meredith, how do you set up a double page spreads and how do you approach working at such a large size? Thanks.
Hang on. Trying to act. You know what? It's going to be what it is. Okay, so
And before you do that, I'm just going to read one more super chat from Antoine Washington for $49. Hey, Dave and Meredith, happy Monday. I've been fasting from YouTube. Missed you guys. So excited for the drawing tonight. Glad to be back with y'all. Well, we're glad to have you here too, Antoine.
absolutely.
On to, is it Daft Pappy? Daft Pappy? And the double page spread.
Oh, yes, right. So double page spread. And the question was, how do you draw it like something that's so big? What was the
Yes.
question exactly? Okay.
How do you work at such a large size?
Now, a double page spread takes more than twice as long for me, for sure. The larger I draw, it's not exponential, but it feels like it, you know. So like a little figure can only be a little bit of detail. And because I cannot let go, and this depends on your art style. Some people, you know, if you have a more simple art style, it doesn't end up being such a problem. But if it is really detailed, I put as much detail as I can, and it just takes longer. So you kind of have to accept the fact that it's going to take longer. A month, 3 weeks. The last one I did. Now, I'm going to say in my defense, because I'm drawing double sized, a double page spread is actually 4 pages put together. It is ridiculous. It took me 3 weeks. That was actually the longest one. They don't usually take quite so long. The other thing you might want to consider, if it's difficult for you to lay out figures at such a large size, the way that, and if you were watching when we were showing the thumbnails that I do, you can actually thumbnail it. So what you want to do is just draw it at a smaller size. Just figure out the dimensions of your page. Or my favorite way to do it, because I don't like measuring anything, is just half a page that's scanned into Photoshop, reduce it really small on the screen, and then trace it so you don't have to measure. Anyway, and then draw it at a much smaller size, like a third of the size or whatever, where it's more comfortable for you. And then you can blow it up and trace from there. The way that I blow it up is I just blow it up onto my monitor and trace off of my monitor. It works. So that is actually my trick that I use sometimes when I'm just like daunted. The figure is so big, and the bigger the figure, when it gets large enough, you can actually end up with distortions that can happen. So there you go.
All right. Spirit Retro has another super chat for £5 about the drawing an anime character in your style. He says it would be very informing for us, David. Plus, we can struggle with you. And Story by Osmosis right underneath him says, I'd be really keen to see Dave's anime style. Really keen. I think it would be interesting to see how you would adapt an anime character. I've seen you do it, but people who haven't seen you do it, I think it could be cool.
Okay.
So yes.
And the question was specifically at the time about Naruto. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
All right. There you go.
I'd like to do Berserk too, but I'll do Naruto. Maybe I shouldn't do Naruto because I feel like I can't say it properly. I'm going to do it.
All right. All right. Now I'm just scrolling through because this is where we're talking to Jason. Everybody's like, link, link, link. But now the link is there. I know there's more super chats down here. I'm scrolling quickly, trying to read. All right, here we go. Pete Michelli has a super chat for $4.99. Dave, do you prefer silence when you work or playing music or TV?
Generally, I watch TV. Now, I watch YouTube, really, for the most part. I sometimes like music. I watch I think is it 6 hours or 8 hours? Anyway, it's long. The Beatles Get Back documentary. I watched that whole thing, and I even rewound a few times. Like that kind of stuff where it's just really in depth and slow paced. I really like because I'm not watching. I'm more listening. I like watching sports, especially F1 and UFC. I do find that UFC gets a little tough though because, well, both. I watch everything. I watch the practice sessions, the whole works. But when the actual race happens, I find like I'm just sitting there watching the race. I'm not actually working.
You should actually start working now. It's already 8:45. I'm
working.
All right, I'm just saying.
I'm working.
Oh, on my screen, you have less drawn than you do on your screen.
Oh,
because I'm behind on my screen. Sorry.
Now, one other thing. Oh, music. I want to say. So I'm watching YouTube, and I was watching. Somebody did a documentary on Black Sabbath, and so I'm watching this like 3-hour documentary on Black Sabbath, and I don't know how. Next thing you know, I'm looking on Wikipedia, as you do, and
as you do,
right? And some other band, I don't even know that it was Black Sabbath. What band? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Tried out a guitarist that I had never heard of, and his name is Buckethead, and I'm like, what? Buckethead? I have never heard of this. Like, it seems crazy, right? So of course, then I had to look up Buckethead, and that guy is the craziest, best guitarist I've ever heard in my life. I couldn't believe it, and I watched probably 8 hours now of that guy just playing. Ridiculous, and he looks ridiculous. He literally has a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket on his head and a Mike Myers Halloween mask, and he's been doing that for a good 30 years now. And I think there are like 3 pictures of him that exist. Purportedly, they're not even sure, I think. Anyway, yeah, check it out. Buckethead. Crazy.
All right, there you go. Mucho315 has a super chat for $4.99. Hey, been a while here. Thank you for a classic Punisher piece. I don't like the new skull. Just me.
Yeah, nobody likes a new skull. I mean, look, it's I think a reaction to some politics, and like I said, I stay away from politics, so I'm not going to offer any kind of opinion one way or another. But I will say, just aesthetically, I like the classic.
All right. Daryl Austin has a super chat for $5. Whoops. Hold on. There it is. Thanks for the opportunity to have the awesome art we've been watching for so long. Any chance of a stream with Daniel Warren Johnson in the future? I don't know who that is, but maybe you do.
I don't, and I'm sorry, and the name sounds familiar.
I'm gonna do a Google on him.
And
Hold on.
I feel terribly because I know, like, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go, oh, okay.
Daniel Warren Johnson is a writer. Probably not. We don't generally do streams with writers. Oh, he's an illustrator too. Space Mullet.
Space Mullet. Okay, this is a strong possibility already.
Comic book writer, artist, and illustrator. Murder Falcon, Beta Ray Bill, 5-issue miniseries. So you have to check him out.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? I will take a look. And Murder Falcon sounds awesome. And Space Mullet, is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a fan already.
All right.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
May have made Daniel a new fan.
So I brought up a picture of a gun because I can fake a pistol. Let me just. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use a piece of paper just as my ruler here, just to kind of have this not turn into Play-Doh. This is not ideal, but I don't know where my ruler is, and I don't want to search. All right, good enough.
Art Dad and the Misfits has a super chat for $20. Just got left the Kickstarter, and it's close to 10 grand. Congratulations.
Man.
Wow. Thank you, Art Dad and the Misfits, for supporting.
Well, and thank you all.
John McCoy underneath it says past 10. Like, I don't even know what to say, guys.
Yeah. We talked about it because I talked to Jason today, and we were talking about where we were kind of hoping that it might get to, and
10,000 in the first half hour is not even anybody was thinking.
No, not at all. So I don't know what to say. I said I hope that it would do well because it's Monday Night Draw, and so many of you, and there are some people that are new, but so many of you have watched, these from the beginning. So I thought, it's a little more special than, something that's just kind of random. So, but still, yeah, I don't know what to say.
They like you, Mikey. They really like you.
This is where it gets uncomfortable.
Only for you, David. Only for you. Oh, Johnny D says, Meredith, I think you missed my super chat. Johnny, it's possible because my screen flipped. If you can just send it to me, I will read it. Don't super chat it. Just tag me and I will look for you, Johnny. Because I can't get back unless Eric can get back because he's an administrator, so he might be able to scroll back. Heather Nunez has a super chat for $4.99. Heather says, haven't been able to join live in a while. Thrilled to be here tonight and help back the Kickstarter. Hi to Meredith and Dave from me and my husband, Carlos. Hi, Heather and Carlos. Thanks for being with us tonight. Picked a good night.
Yes, and thank you for, for backing the Kickstarter. I had speechless.
David Nicholson and Lance DeBoyer both say, and Russ Hicks all say, Buckethead is amazing.
See, everybody knows these things, and I'm like, I always find out. I mean, the guy's been doing it for literally 30 years, and I have not heard of him before today.
Eric Grove says Buckethead is a crazy good guitarist. He's the Stig of guitarists.
See,
everybody loves him.
And
everybody knows who he is.
That's the thing that kills me is, I'm always the only one that has no idea with this stuff. So in my own little bubble, but anyway, I could watch him play all day, and I kind of did, and I'm sure I will again.
I'm sure.
And because there's no lyrics, it's just music. I find it's really nice to just sit and listen.
Instrumental stuff is nice.
I I'm drawing this wrong. Hang on.
Tom Morris has a super chat for $5. Tom says, come on, folks. Is it really fair for those of us with chubby fingers to miss out on all the perks because we type like chickens?
I wouldn't have thought that would happen.
I got in anyway. I don't even know. Like nobody, I didn't even know that the perks would go that fast. That's just ridiculous.
No, I didn't see that happening. And I'd like to find some way to, do something about that. So it's.
Oh, and I did find some super chats I missed. Johnny D, I found your super chat and one from Cam. Just going back to make sure I didn't miss any more. Because sometimes my screen, like your screen, like jumps.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm going back down to Johnny D's. Johnny D says has a super chat for $5. He said, hello, Meredith. I'm glad you're feeling better. You keep staying awesome. And Dave, can't wait for your art book. Thanks, Johnny.
Yes,
Thanks for being
thank
with
you.
us every week.
Yes.
We're only awesome because you guys are awesome. And underneath him, I see Kevin P. West says, so cool, everyone supporting new Kickstarter. You guys deserve it. I'm a loyal Finch Flock backer. So nice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm like, at this point now, I'm a little uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
You're uncomfortable.
I'm not good with that.
You're not good with people
It's
loving
like,
you.
It's too much.
Yeah, I know. I know you're uncomfortable. You don't even know what to say. It's okay. We love you, Dave. Cam has a super chat for $5. Cam says, so by April, I get my epic book right after my B-Day. Best self birthday ever.
Here comes trouble.
It's Everett. Oh, good. He's just shutting the door because he's got friends here. That just keeps the cats out, too.
It does. Our house is the flop house.
The flop. It's the place where all the boys hang out. But then, they're not getting into trouble.
So this is sort of an AK-47. I had
Hey,
reference.
it's comics. That's why you get so literal on TV shows. I'm like, it's a fantasy TV show.
Well, you know what? With
it doesn't
Punisher,
have to be literal.
with Punisher, to do it right, it really needs to be a proper gun because it's not fantasy. And it's obviously it's fantasy, but it's uses But the problem is for me to actually sit here and methodically draw the proper. Nobody's got time for that, and I'm not going to put you guys through that. So it's going to be somewhat approximate.
John D. Harvey has a super chat for $10. Just purchased your GR course on backgrounds and perspectives. I'm an artist blacksmith who hasn't sketched for 35 years, partly learning for fun and partly to create metalwork concept art for clients.
Awesome. Well,
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I just
very
bought,
much.
I haven't posted it yet because I haven't set it up yet. The coolest round or cylindrical fire pit that's got horses on it, like cut out horses. I have not put a fire in it yet because it's really cold and I got it at Christmas time, but I'm looking forward to seeing it lit up. So those kinds of things I know are super popular if you're talented with metal and shaping metal, which blacksmiths are like the most incredible. So
maybe, you know what? Because I keep thinking to myself, like, if I wasn't drawing comics, like, what if all of a sudden
there's sculptors?
Yeah, I could, or I think my preference would be, I keep thinking like some kind of woodworking I would really enjoy. So I've talked to a few people about, what would I do?
I enjoy being a blacksmith.
I never thought of it.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind before.
There's all kinds of artists who sculpt with metal.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
Or glass. Metal's more like.
Well, in the crossover between drawing and sculpture is very strong, stronger than I would have thought. But it very much correlates.
Well, thank you for that super chat. And Jim Klein has a super chat for $20. Dave, any tips on laying down lines in a cartoony style? Think Brett Parsons' Tank Girl run in pencil. I find it easier to get line width variation with a brush. Also had to join late. What's the early bird thing I missed?
It's Kickstarter book. It's the Monday Night Draw art book. And I don't know if there's a link at the top, but there is a link in the chat somewhere. Okay, so I see what you're saying. And let me close this quickly. So the point is, like, if you're using a brush and you want a thick to thin line, you just add a little more pressure, and you can see I'm terrible at it right away. And then you go thinner and thicker and thinner. And that just flows, especially if you're good at it, which I'm not. But with a pencil, the way that I do it, and so I'm going to draw, here's a shoulder, and it goes into an arm. I just scribble it in. So I would do this and do this, and this is more tedious. It's a little more work. It's actually, for me, far more natural because I've done this for, better part of 30 years versus this, which I haven't done much. So this is actually very comfortable for me to get a thicker line. But that really is all there is to it. It's just a matter of sculpting the line with a pencil and actually adding the line weight with a pencil. I'm almost drawn in here. It's time to...
Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $4.99. Sorry. 90s superhero art was greatly beloved. What elements of the era appeal to people the most that we can incorporate into our work? Mainly my work. Hee hee. Tee hee hee. What's the best part of the 90s stuff that Michael can incorporate?
Okay, my opinion, the best part of the 90s stuff is...
Not the underwear.
My opinion, the best part of the 90s stuff is the late 80s. That's when Jim Lee, Will Spataccio, a little bit later, Mark Silvestri. Mark Silvestri had been around longer, but he's more of a traditional artist at heart. And, but he came into it. Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, that's really when all that stuff was kind of happening. And, in the 90s, what you ended up getting is you got some people that took it further. Travis Trust is my prime example of an artist that just took what they were doing and took it further than anyone ever, But yeah, I would say the late 80s. As a matter of fact, you know what? So I have a choice. I know it's early. I'm just going to do it. I'm doing.
You're going to do a book of the week too?
Yeah, because
I'm
I'm
not
already
going to do it because we just took the time out for Kickstarter.
Yeah, but you know what? So I have two options, and let me tell you why. I've been debating. So I've got The Art of Carlos Fuente. This is Monstro. This is a phenomenal book, and I'm just going to show you. You know what? It's going to be 2 books, and I'll make it a little quicker. But this book is so amazing, and I found this actually when I was looking for the other one. I haven't shown enough. He's more of a designer, video games and movies and that kind of thing. I haven't shown enough of this kind of stuff, but he is incredible. And this is such an amazing, amazing book. His anatomy is really unusual and just very creative. He's also a great designer and just really great stuff. Like this kind of thing here is bananas. And it's not done with lines. So this could be a little bit more difficult for you to interpret if you're not as comfortable interpreting something that's paint, but it also has a lot of more drawn stuff too. Yeah, just really cool creature design. I mean, look at that. It's such an unusual kind of a body type too. Here's some of the stuff more in a drawn way. And this stuff is just, I think it's a range of his sketches and things that were actually used for different projects. And yeah, I mean, I love this stuff. It just makes me happy. Look at that. Really cool design. On top of being like, I love that shoulder. I have not looked at this for too long. On top of just being a great artist, being a designer that's strong is amazing. And I'm flipping through because, I mean, look at how cool that is. He actually has a sculpt in here of one of his designs that I want to show you guys if I can find it. There it is. Look at that. So this is, I think, actually, I'm sure this is a clay sculpture. This is, before, this is an older book, by the way. So this is before, you could just 3D print out your stuff the way that you can now. And I mean, look at how incredible that is. And I don't know if he sculpted this himself or had somebody else do it, but it is so nuanced. I don't believe for a second that somebody else sculpted this. Like this to me is so much, it's so perfectly his art. I would love to see more of this actually in the book. Unfortunately, this is the only 2 pages of actual sculpts, but the art also is really very, very cool. So Carlos Fuente, and it is Monstro. I got it at a convention from, an indie bookseller years and years ago, but if you can find it, I highly recommend it. And so the other book And this one is for you, Michael. This is X-Men Mutations. This is also a very old book. This actually came out when Carlos Pacheco was the X-Men artist. 96 is when he did the cover, and that's about when the book came out. So it's got some very classic. This is the origin of the beast and cool stuff. And I mean, we could talk about that all day just for how cool the stories are. And I've read it all. It's awesome. But it also has Walt Simonson stuff. And this is some of, we just did Walt Simonson's Thor just a little bit ago, but this has some of his best work. This is his X Factor stuff. I mean, look at how great that cover is. And he's got a few shots in here that I was actually really thinking I should bookmark. Look at that shot. I love that figure. And just the whole panel is incredibly powerful. There's another one. I mean, all these are very cool. That is such a great looking shot. Anyway, very cool stuff. But I'm going to keep moving fast because this book also has 2 full issues of Jim Lee's X-Men. And this to me is really, when you talk about 90s art, this is where it started. It's grounded in great storytelling and great design. And it doesn't have the excesses that started to kind of take away from the style. Like Jim Lee, he could draw that big, really cool shot and that incredible cover, but he could also bring you into a scene and frame shots and do all the things that more traditional, less, I guess, flashy artists could do. I mean, look at the detail in there. And this is a bit early for his X-Men work, so it's a little different than where it went later on. It's a little bit more neutral in terms of the rendering and a lot of the tricks that they started using later, kind of in the image area. You can see a lot of this actually really reminds me, especially this face here, and this one too, of Kevin Nolan. And we were talking about that a few months ago, looking at some Kevin Nolan stuff. Yeah, amazing stuff. This is.
Did you say you were going to be fast?
I'm doing my best, but I mean, come on. This is like, okay, so we're going to move. That is one of the coolest shots of all time. I mean, look at that. And you can see it's got all the elements of 90s kind of, it's got the fade out at the bottom of the legs. It's got, this kind of a long fade here. And you can see those things starting to come in. She's also breaking the panel. This is something that I'm going to say Todd McFarlane really made popular. I know that I apologize. I'm terrible with names. He did Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's a legend. You guys are Jim Steranko, really, and Howard Chaykin, really did this kind of first, but this is where it really got popular. And I'm going to flip through one of the coolest comics of all time with some of the greatest storytelling of all time really quickly, which is, how fast can you go past that? Look at that. It's bananas. But there's one other shot, and I have to show it or I'll lose my mind. 2 other shots. That one, look at that. And I'm passing stuff that's like heartbreaking to pass. But there's one other shot. Did I miss? Oh, here it is. Look at that shot of Wolverine. And you need to bear in mind that when this came out, this was new. I mean, you look at this stuff now, and I think it's still fresh, and it still stands up, and it's incredible. But at the time, nobody had done anything like this. This is mind-blowing. I can't describe how exciting it was to see work like this if you had never seen anything like this before. So many people have copied, including me, and many others that, a lot of his tricks you've seen a lot of times. At the time, it was new. So anyway, that's what I would recommend looking at, Michael.
Thank you. Brad Scott Art has a super chat for $20. Brad says, David, Kickstarter backed. Boom.
Thank you very much, Brad. And thank you very much for the Kickstarter. I really appreciate it.
I can't believe how awesome it is to see your season 1 drawing book come to life and be successful. I truly love what you and Miss Meredith do for the community. And as always, Miss Meredith rocks.
Is that Brad?
Yep.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $1.99. Michael says, also, karma is real and you deserve this success.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you very much.
You're having a hard time with this right now, aren't you?
I'm fine.
Are you going to be okay?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll read the next super chat from Anthony G for $4.99. Happy Monday, Finches! So excited to get my MND Monday Night Draw book. I have a nice cozy spot on my bookshelf, just waiting for it.
Awesome. It's great to see the OGs pick up the book, you know?
That's right. It is. That means they like it.
Does anybody on Earth sound less cool saying OG than I do? I don't know. Maybe not.
Kevin Mandeville has a super chat for $20. Kevin says, Dave, I know you get uncomfortable when it comes to praise, so I won't waste any time talking about how talented and generous an artist you are. In fact, I'll scold you a bit for underestimating the flock. 12.5, by the way.
Wow.
LOL. I think it's at 16 now.
I don't know what to say.
Story Boss Moses says, bananas. There you go. This is bananas.
Yeah.
Dura Smiley has a super chat for 50 SEK, which I don't know that stream, or currency. But hi, first stream I caught. Glad it was this one. Speaking of Tank Girl, could you maybe draw something with her sometime?
Yeah, that would be a blast.
Thanks, Dura.
I am a
welcome to the stream.
Yes, thank you.
You picked a good night to join.
I am a huge fan of Jamie Hewlett, the Tank Girl artist. He's such an influential artist too. I feel like I don't want to ever, unless it's like completely obvious, I'm always reluctant to say this person is influenced by this artist because it's not always necessarily true. But to me, Andrew Robinson really seems very influenced, and maybe indirectly or maybe directly, and I'm not sure, but I feel like Sean Gordon Murphy, if not the greatest new artist in 10 years, I don't know. To me, it would be a contest between Sean Gordon Murphy and Jorge Jimenez.
Fads has another super chat for $7.99. Fad says, hey, Dave, me again. Thanks so much for considering my anime request. Can't wait to get my hands on your new book.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to doing the anime one. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be different. I do have to do Pit first because we can't leave Lance hanging.
Nope, we cannot. Our dad in the Misfits has a super chat for $5. My oldest son is super excited for the book and says, thank you, Mr. Dave. LOL. Thanks,
so
Mr. Dave. So cute. Matthew Mangy says, when does Meredith sing?
We try to avoid that, Matthew.
Right now my nose is kind of plugged. I don't think I'm sick. I don't know, for whatever reason. Oh, you missed the nose holes in the skull.
Oh, thank you.
Like everybody keeps saying nose holes. I'm like, what is going on with this nose hole skull thing? And then I finally clued in.
Yeah, does that look a little better?
There you go. Thank you, Anthony G, for finally bringing it to my attention. Adam Kinney has a super chat for $5. Did I say Anthony G or Anthony G?
I think you actually said G.
I think I did
which
too.
you have not done for a year and a half.
I'm not. I don't know why I did it. I think I'm just like, it's after 9. It's the witching hour. Sorry, Anthony. Adam Kinney has a super chat for $5. Back the Kickstarter. Love the video on how to use reference. I found it super helpful. Thanks for doing these videos.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Kevin Mandeville says, I broke Dave. You did, Kevin. You totally broke Dave. Thank you, Tomic. Story by Osmosis has a super chat for $10. Hey, David Meredith, you're about to come up to it, but I'm having a hard time deciding how the hatching takes shape in conjunction with the shadows. Can you talk us through your approach again? Thanks. Because you're about to do it. You're hatching with your shadows.
Okay. So when I get there, I will talk about it. So I won't just do it. I'll make sure to kind of talk about my thinking as I'm going. I don't know exactly what you mean when you're asking, by which I mean, I don't know what specifically you're asking about. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of talk about it while I'm doing it for a little bit, and hopefully that will cover it, or at least somewhat. I mean, the problem with all this stuff, and I'm sure so many of you guys know this very, very well, but there are rules, and I love rules because I'd like to be able to just put it in a box and say, okay, this is how this is done. I can stop worrying about that a little bit and move on to the next thing, and I just know it. But the problem is that there are very few places where there's any hard and fast rules, and rendering is one of those. I have rules for rendering for sure, but I find myself kind of breaking what I think of being my rules all the time, and it's a result of reference. I'm a huge fan of Dale Keown, an artist who would be amazing to have on, by the way. And a lot of my rendering is picked up from what he was doing, which is very different than Travis Trest, another artist that I'm a huge fan of, and so much of my rendering is from him. And then there are other artists in there, Simon Bisley, and you naturally kind of start picking up even contradictory things and mixing them together. So it's like with anything, there's theory, there's understanding anatomy, but then there's understanding how to really give it more of a realistic or an artistic flavor, you know. Hopefully I'm making sense. I'll stop.
No, you're making sense. You incorporate stuff into your own style.
Right. And
that's why sometimes, even though you use rules, you break rules without thinking sometimes.
Right. And the other problem that I have is I don't, a lot of things, like you do this every day for years, and you break rules because you're not even aware of them. And so much of this stuff I'm trying to become more aware of as I'm teaching it. And so I'm learning. I know I've said this before, but I really am learning as I'm explaining this stuff, in trying to, you know, I'm trying to take a lot of things that I learned intuitively without thinking and make it clear so it's easier to pick up, and so you're not having to spend years fighting with it. Which, you know, is an advantage, by the way, that I had at Top Cow. You know, I had other artists come out, like Mark Silvestri and J. Scott Campbell and Joe Benitez and Bat, the inker, Matt Banning. A lot of people help. Okay, what? So
what Story by Osmosis is struggling with is when he hatches. Hold on. When I hatch out of the shadows, it looks like it goes from a thick, dark pool of black to a very thin tree line of hatching, and the form looks fake.
Oh, yeah.
He says hard to explain, but you understand what he's saying?
Yeah, hard to explain, but very easy to understand what you said. So I don't think you had no trouble explaining that one. And I see that problem all the time. And yeah, we will talk about that. That I can help with. How? When we get to rendering, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I'm not holding it back. I'm just.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're just not there yet.
Well, I think it'd be a lot more useful for me to talk about
as you're doing it. Fair enough. Tomic Art put in a super chat for 99 cents. Thank you, Tomic.
Thank you so much, Tomic.
Thank you for the nice words you said too.
Oh, is that what he said?
No. I'm thanking Tomic because he said nice things about me. Which, you know.
Why? Tomic?
Nobody ever says nice things about me around here, so I got to take it where I can get it. It's not true. Isaac tells me he loves me all the time.
Oh, so do I.
And yes, well, you don't, you can't, but you do in your own way. And Everett tells me I'm the OG.
Well, I would say it right now, but I'm not going to.
That I'm the OG, or that you love me?
Yeah. But I do.
I know you do. I love you too, honey. You're the greatest. Edia P wants to know, hey, David, how do you transfer from the chest or collarbone to the shoulder? I can't get the shoulder muscles right.
All right. So so you have here's your chest. I'm just going to draw it. Here's, as a chest. And here's your collarbone. And here's the other side. Getting that shoulder stuck on there is, yeah, I can see how that can be a bit of a challenge. From a construction point of view, I'm going to draw this whole area. So here's my basic, feel like a vest kind of a shape. There's an armhole. Here's a line from where my chest goes. It's going to connect up there, connect up here. My collarbone is going to be here. And so I want to attach that arm here, but it still is a little bit odd because that's not actually the line that you're going to use. And this is why one thing I really like about Loomis is he cuts in quite a bit like this. So that's more where he's got that arm coming out of. And then what I don't like with Loomis, because it doesn't work for me as well. I'm not saying it's a bad way to losing my stuff, bad way to go, but from what he does is he does a bit of a, it's like a shoulder thing like this. And so it'd be kind of hollow, like it would have a shape like this. And then he's got his bone for his arm kind of in here. I don't do that because it doesn't work for me. But what I would do is I would draw a bit of a ball kind of here, and then my arm comes off here, and a bit of a ball here. And it's still not perfect. What you need to understand to make this work is that your shoulder, your deltoid, connects here. So here would be my bicep. Here would be my tricep. It connects right in here, flattens out just a little bit, kicks up just a bit, and it comes in like that shape right there. So basically a shape like this. And then all of your chest actually radiates out from here and has a kick here. So you can actually basically just radiate it from here. So I'm going to put one here, another one here, another one here. And so there's all my chest muscles. And you have a divot here. So this would be my collarbone here. Below the collarbone and between the chest and the shoulder, you end up with a divot, which I'm sure, it wouldn't look quite so sloppy, but that's very much how it would end up looking. And so when you have striations on the chest, they would follow this kind of a pattern. And so that's how you can, get those striations in there without it looking messy. And so that is how you attach your shoulder to your chest. Hopefully that helps.
Tomic says, I'm just speechless. Meredith is like a mother to me through a screen. LOL. Brush your teeth, Tomic. Make sure you get your homework done.
Tomic, you want no part of that. Trust me.
Do you shower today? These are the questions I ask Isaac.
Pull your pants up.
Pull your pants up.
That's a classic.
Make your lunch. Mostly, yeah. Pull your pants up.
Yeah.
You're going to miss the bus. Art9 says, Meredith Finch, from time to time I say a nice word for you, especially when you support our speech in the chat. John, thank you, Art9. John C has a super chat for $1.99. Artist scale guns odd. 3 fingers wide at the thickest.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to repeat that one.
Artists
yes.
Scale guns in a strange way.
Yeah.
Make them 3 fingers wide at the thickest.
And what?
I guess guns are different. I don't know. That must not be how guns are scaled.
Okay, fair enough. Because I actually don't know. So, you want to know why we scale it wrong or why I would? Because I have no good answer to give you
don't
for
have-
why it
yeah.
would be wrong. So maybe I should be looking into that a little bit.
Johnny D is a super chat for $2. Johnny says, "You're the OG, Meredith." Sorry, Dave. Larry Lambert. Oh, I just flipped. Larry Lambert has a super chat for $5. Being here from the beginning, glad to be one of the first backers of the book. You are a great inspiration to me. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Larry. Larry is definitely a not as much a chat contributor, which is how I am when I watch these.
Yeah,
I always just
you
watch.
just like to watch.
I actually watch quite a few, and I never say a word because, I just want to watch.
Yeah. Black Tiger has a super chat for $2. Black Tiger says, over 15,000 US. Outstanding.
Oh, wow.
I keep forgetting that when I look, it's Canadian.
Oh, yeah, it's Canadian.
So,
well, thank you again, everybody.
What Kevin Mandevil says, whatever the stretch goals were going to be, they've been met.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know the scale of the book, Dave?
Is about.
Is it 11 by 17, 10 by 15, 8.5 by 11?
I don't know. I should know that. That is actually such.
Let me text Jason.
Okay, that's an obvious question that I really should know the answer to.
That was Henry Jeremick asking that question.
Henry calling me out. Yeah, I actually don't know. Dang it. It wouldn't be 8.5 by 11. That would be pretty small.
Jason's watching. Soft cover is 7 by 11, perfect bound.
Okay.
Jason. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Eric. Before I can finish typing the text, Jason sent me the answer. Like, hey, Jason. And then the answer's there. Maybe that could be a stretch goal.
Like a large format?
11 by 17, like full size.
I have plans for a stretch goal. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what they are because, heck.
We're talking about it.
I have a bunch of extra art.
Stretch goal, Jason says, would be a hardcover.
Yeah, and I have a bunch of extra art, like paintings, and because I've done a lot of paintings with Eric over the last little while. So it'd be nice to get some of those paintings in there. Maybe get some of Eric's paintings. I don't know if he'd be willing to contribute some of his that we've done for the stream. I think that would be actually a lot of fun to get those in there. We've done some Copic marker stuff, so that kind of thing. I have a bunch, so that's something we were talking about.
All right. Trent Early has a super chat for $10. Trent says, thank you for all you do, Mr. Finch. You're a gift to all aspiring artists. If your videos / teachings, Proco, and Monday Night Draw existed 10 years ago, I wouldn't be $150,000 in college debt. You're the goat of comics.
Thank you so much, Trent. Really appreciate it.
Hopefully you got a good job out of all that college debt, Trent.
Yeah. I dodged such a bullet when I started getting a job at Top Cow where they were teaching new people because I was not ready, but I got to learn on the job. And you know what? Nothing replaces having an experienced artist over your shoulder looking and saying, no, that's wrong. Like that's always going to be the fastest, best way to grow. But just at least being able to see techniques and, kind of standards being shown and described, hopefully is, there's so many things that I struggled with that if you guys don't have to, because it's not like it makes you stronger spinning your wheels for 6 months on something that, somebody could just explain.
Black Wolverine says, you don't know how long I've been waiting for your art book. Thanks for putting this out there.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm so pumped to have it out. We've been talking about it for a while, and there comes a point where I'm like, I hate saying, oh yeah, we're gonna do it, and then we never get around to things, So I'm so glad that we have Jason, and he mentioned the designer. I forgot his name, and I hate to not give him, but Jason and his crew for getting it all together.
Ninja Nate 48 has a super chat for $5. I love reading these fun names. Hey Dave, I'm entering the Top Cow Talent Hunt as an artist and wondered if you have any advice to have my artwork stand out.
Well, I would say if I were looking and it were me making the decision of who to pick up, I'll tell you what I would be looking for. Storytelling, but not really, truthfully, because I could teach storytelling. I don't know that they're willing to do that though. So storytelling, but for my part, yeah, it's important, but it's teachable. You know, what is harder to teach is also teachable, but it takes longer and it's more difficult. Is not so much anatomy, but really great looking stylized anatomy, like anatomy that has a feel, anatomy that you can, push your arm out toward the camera and all the muscles and everything connect together nicely and look good at really any angle. And that takes a bit of time to get the hang of. That is what I really look for, because being able to draw a really dynamic figure, and also if you're great at framing exciting shots, because that's the stuff that makes what makes me want to pick up a book. I want to see like that Jim Lee shot of Psylocke, that one picture where her head is kind of cropped out of the, it's coming out of the frame. You know what? That's worth a million storytelling pages to me. I got to be honest. I look for that kind of thing. If you do that stuff really well, I feel like you can learn the other stuff. So I would say really strong anatomy, strong lighting, and you need to be able to draw really, really good faces and hands. Something that will destroy samples very quickly is poorly done faces. And you need to be able to show that you can do them from multiple angles. Like I will look and I can see that, okay, your faces look all right, but I'm really seeing two different angles of faces, like straight on and 3/4, never looking up, never looking down. That stuff becomes apparent quickly, and I definitely look for that. So I would say you want to be able to draw faces at multiple angles. When you draw hands, reference your own hands or reference a friend's hands, or look at an artist that does it really well. If you're not 100% confident with the hand that you're drawing, don't do it, because it will destroy your work so fast. Because hands and faces are what people recognize the most when it comes to figures. I mean, it's what it's where all expression comes from. So people that can't draw at all, and that will be the people looking at your artwork, to be totally honest with you, it's going to be an editor that's not an artist, which is a shame, but that's the way it is. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. They will very quickly be able to point that stuff out. It bothers you when you see it done wrong, and it's a really good way to get pushback. I suspect, and I don't know this, but I think style will kind of come into play. I don't know what kind of style they're looking for. So that's a bit of an X factor. You need to bear that in mind. But yeah, I would say really strong faces, concentrate on them, make them as good as possible. Strong hands, good anatomy and lighting, storytelling, because honestly, they want to be able to give you a script that a writer's written and have you not destroy it. I don't look for that as much because I feel like I can work with that. I don't know if they're willing to though. So I have to say storytelling, even though for me, it's not something I look for, because I feel like I could teach it. And that's how Top Cow was when I started. They were teaching it, So it didn't matter that storytelling was a weakness for me, which it was. I learned on the job. But there you go. That would be my advice. I hope it's helpful, but I'm, not privy to their criteria, what they're looking for.
All right. That was a great answer. Thank you, David. Wayne Blackman has a super chat for $5. Wayne says, "Hey, Finch family. Hope you're feeling better, Miss M. Dave, how do you cope with frustration when you were learning and trying to improve your art?"
Very poorly, and good to see you, Wayne. Yeah, not well. I remember throwing my pencil against a wall and breaking my pencil and kind of nicking my wall, and my mother was not happy. I lived in my mother's basement. I mean, this is how it goes. Yeah, I remember when so I put so much overthought into this stuff before I got in. And I remember thinking, okay, I need to learn how to draw arms. And I need to learn how to draw it from every angle. And once I do that, I'll know that that's mine now. And no one can take that from me. And then there you go. And I really felt like that. I thought, okay, I just need to learn this stuff once. And then I could just have a career and I could be great if I can get it to a certain level. I didn't realize just how much you're always learning, and there's always ways to do it better. And there are, people that will come along that will kick your butt. And at the time, I was looking at it a little bit of a simplistic way. And I struggled just learning anyway. But I also, it's impossible to be your own critic. And so I would drive myself crazy. I didn't know, am I good enough or am I kidding myself? And can I get good enough? Like, where is my limit? I just didn't know. Yeah, that was so painful. There was so much self-doubt. And I thought, okay, well, once I get in, I'll know that I'm good enough. And that was the biggest
We're still
mistake.
waiting for that day.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely the biggest mistake. When I got in was the hardest time for me. And I remember wanting to quit. I remember people quitting that were in the same position. And which is why I always say, the number one criteria, I think, that differentiates people that make it from people that don't is willingness to learn, number one. Because, and it's not talent. You need to have talent in the sense that, like going to a mathematical field, if you hate math and you're not good at math, like it's not going to work out. So you need to have some talent, but it's really not talent. It's, somebody that is not as talented is not going to pick it up as quickly, but if they put in the time, they will still kick your butt. And I learned that for sure. And the other thing that I learned is that most people quit. And if you never quit, it might be soon, it might take a while, but you will make it. And that's not going to be everybody because, it is possible. You have to have some talent.
All right.
So
Matt Canty has a question. I just pledged for a signed book, but are they limited too, or are those books guaranteed? Matt, if you could buy a signed book, you will get a signed book. I don't know if there are a limited number of signed books. I wouldn't think. Maybe there are. What do I know?
I don't think so, but I hesitate to just say.
Yeah, I wouldn't think. You'll
I'd
sign
be
as many
surprised.
books as people want to buy.
I would think, yeah.
JDSCT has a super chat for $5. Jumped in as soon as it launched and nabbed a sketch tier. So happy. Thanks,
Awesome.
Dave. Meredith and all involved. Thanks, Dave, Meredith, and all involved to make this happen. Can't wait.
Thank you so much, JDST.
And Jim Klein is a super chat for $5. Just back the book. Any chance we'll be able to add extra copies of it to our pledge? I'd like to carry travel copies of books I study in my art bag. Oh no, I know Kickstarter's harder with those add-ons. But I think there's a way. So maybe Jason can look into that. It was hard doing the Kickstarter. Indiegogo makes it easier to do add-ons like that. But we'll see. We'll talk to Jason about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because you don't want to pay extra to ship it twice because it's not the same. But
Right.
it was hard to do. Like the add-ons were the hardest thing for Kickstarter for me. S. Ruvalis has a super chat for $4.99, or Sruvalis. Almost 16K, and I just pledged for a mystery box. Congratulations. Every Monday night is like my favorite art class I've ever had.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm pumped about the mystery box stuff. It's it's all my comics, and I've got lots.
Pete Michelli has a super chat for $4.99. Dave, is there a trick to making cast shadow look right? For example, casting a shadow of your character onto the wall behind them.
Okay.
Are you going to finish at 10, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've got my character.
Asking for me and the little kids.
So here he is. And I need to cast a shadow on the wall. So I'm going to say my lighting is going to be coming from here. And so that means if I've got, this is all the wall behind him, I need to track my lighting from him. If I've got the wall directly close to him, then I'm going to track to just here. And then I would draw the shadow on the wall. If I want the wall to be far away, then I would track much further and put the shadow here. I'm going to do that. So let's make it a little further away. And so my head would be about here. I already blew it a little bit. And my shoulders would be about here. I blew the shape of the head. Let's change the shape of his head so it matches the shadow. So there you go. That's really how you would do it. It's actually very easy to pull that off. It's just a matter of, deciding where your lighting is coming from and then running everything from that lighting. That's assuming that you have a parallel light source, by which it's like a universal light. So, it doesn't change direction. If you have a light source that is like a point and it comes out like this, things get ridiculously more complex. And I really don't recommend that you do that if you don't have to. It's 99% of the time you'll have just a directional light like this because everything works. It's much easier. The only time you would ever have a point light is if somebody's holding like a flashlight or something like that, and things can get hairy.
Tor Rydberg says, Dave Finch, I want you to look in the mirror and say out loud, I'm good enough.
Oh, stop it.
I'm smart enough.
Don't even.
And gosh darn it, people like me.
Don't put that on me. Okay, so I'm going to do some rendering on his arm here. And if I start thick and then go thin, what I can end up with is something that looks like this. And you can see how that does not look the best. What I need to do is I've got my shadow here. I always start within the form, and then I want to be fairly thick coming out of there. And the point is that I want my lines basically to join at this point. So, and if I'm using a pencil, I'm going to do the same thing. So that means I have to sculpt the line, but you can see I'm making sure to join the bottom so it's thick enough that I'm not ending up with like just a gap like this, because that does not look as good. So that's really all there is to it. It's actually a very simple thing to just make sure that you're doing that. And it might take a bit to get the hang of just the feel of it. Like I've been doing it long enough now that I can kind of throw them. And you can see I'm actually, my shadow line was here and I ended up bringing it up to about here. I could, because of the kind of form it is. If I had to be much more careful because it needed to be there, I would have had to slow down.
Greg L. Static Art has a super chat for $2. Greg says, I'm sorry I'm late. The Punisher. Nice.
Yeah, good to see you, Greg.
Tegmo Modelworks has a super chat for $5. I finally made it. Too much work on a Monday. The things we do for money. Love you guys. Love you guys too. Thanks for coming, Greg and Tag.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan Genovese has a how to add to your pledge. If you go to change your pledge, you can select add-ons. And now he wrote ass-ons, but I'm pretty sure he meant add-ons.
Okay, good.
I'm pretty sure that was a typo.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Now Dan's like, oh, shoot. It's okay, Dan. I knew what you meant. So what's new and exciting in your life, Dave?
That's where it is it?
I just haven't seen you all day.
I finished my double page
I
spread.
know. I see it looking at me. It's very beautiful.
Thank you. Took
I'll
forever.
look at it more up close and personal.
I really wish I could show you guys. Can't tell you. But,
It's incredible.
well,
We just wait till this book comes out. Spectacular.
I don't know
I
that
feel like it should just be black and white. I know it's getting colored, but
and very nicely colored.
it is nicely colored, but I feel like it loses something relative to just the black and white.
Well, I'm not going to agree with that. I would like to see it come out in black and white also.
Nicholas Camargo says, is a Kickstarter campaign on? Nicholas, it is. Eric very kindly pinned it to the top of the page tonight. And the Monday Night Draw book is kickstarting now. Are you going to talk through your rendering?
He said what his actual question was, so I kind of.
You feel like you answered it?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I could talk about it a little more. I'm going to do that here. I need to be a little more careful because I don't want this to be too wide, and then extend it up like this.
Pizza Monster Art. Sorry, Pizza Monster Art. The book that is getting colored is the comic book David's currently working on. The project he's been working on for the last 4 years. And we were discussing that one. Monday Night Draw. You've seen the book. I can't remember. I think it's all black and white because it's just sketches, right?
It's mostly black and white.
There might be like a
I think there are a
picture.
couple of paintings in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, it's all stuff from Monday Night Draw.
Original art. Like it's as the art, it's not getting colored. It's just art as Dave draws it or paints it or does it. It's art.
It was all the stuff that I've done
A la Dave
here with you guys. That was really the idea. I wanted to.
If you want to see the picture drawn, you can go back to that version of Monday Night Draw.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Hey, it's after 9, and I feel like I have yet to say 221,000 subscribers. Seriously, Dave? Well, it can't be wrong. So if you aren't already, click the subscribe button. I just can't believe it. 221.
Yeah. Apparently I'm gonna lose subscribers.
You're gonna lose subscribers?
Yes.
Why?
I got a notification from YouTube saying that they are purging spam subscribers, and so your subscriber number may go down.
Oh, well, I don't think most people who are subscribing to you are spamming, so whatever. And 580 people, 583. Let's hit that like button. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to be 584. So if you have not already subscribed, subscribe now so you don't miss out on any of the awesome content that we all know Dave puts up on this YouTube channel, including today's How to Draw Eyes, which everybody was saying was awesome. How to draw torsos, how to draw female stuff, how to draw whatever.
Female stuff.
I don't know. You said you did hips and torsos. And
yes.
How to draw hair. All kinds of stuff out there. How to draw perspective. Ironically, because
it blows me away. Nobody ever calls me up for like really
for not having hair
when
you draw hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if you do it well. It doesn't. You don't need to have it.
There you go.
So there you go. And Tagmo Modelworks has a super chat for $5. Tag says, I pledged for a signed copy of the book. Excited to see it in person, as I am to see you two in person when the world allows.
It's coming. It's coming. It's
depending on where you live.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I've done a couple of shows in Canada, but I really think that well, I hope that soon it can all work out. I looking forward to it. The biggest problem with traveling for conventions are on the weekend, and a lot of times I end up traveling back on Monday, and I'll do my Monday night draw. Don't get me wrong, I will be here, but yeah, it could be a very tired Dave some weeks once conventions start up.
Anthony G says YouTube does that once a year.
Okay. Yeah, I just got the notifications. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Ed Tato says, yeah, there was some spam subscribers. I got email from YouTube. One Mighty R says, YouTube purged me too. I lost 20 subscribers.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good number right now, but I'm not sure. I mean, I figure with that number, I should lose a few for sure. Ultimately, it's more people that watch the videos than subscribers that matter. But you know, it's nice bragging rights, to be honest.
See, we're already at 613
Awesome.
likes. How many of those are spam? You can't spam the likes, can you?
Okay. No.
There. Sam Kucher says, don't worry, Dave, I'm a spammer and I check your channel every day. YouTube can try and subscribing me, but it won't work. John C has a super chat for $4.99. Phenomenal. My fault you're drawing this. On the subject of Punisher, broke my heart to find out Tim Bradstreet traced those covers.
Yeah, but it really shouldn't, because I mean, look, they're beautiful covers. They're beautifully designed. And I'll tell you right now that Tim Bradstreet could sit down and draw you one of those just, you know, straight up. And he does it at conventions. So, you know, you can't diminish him for it. It's a style. It's a very realistic style. And look, some of my favorite painters, that's how they would do their stuff. Norman Rockwell, who, I mean, the guy's a legend, and obviously deceased for quite a while, but he traced, you know, so it's nothing I don't think to be ashamed of. And I mean, he made beautiful work from it. So yeah, I disagree. I don't think you should look down on him for that. It's a different art style, and it would not be as effective. You couldn't pull those covers off any other way. Okay, you could sit there and methodically, instead of tracing, draw things out and make sure that, you know, nobody does that. I'm going to tell you right now, in illustration, when people are doing likenesses, they're tracing. Any other way is faulty. Spend forever trying to get a likeness. I wouldn't. I had to do likenesses, and I trace.
Tom Teacher's getting greedy. Tom says that they cut enough subscribers. Do we get another 200K party? Party. No, Tom, no. You'll be greedy.
Well, we were talking, Jason and I were talking about like a stretch goal doing like another giveaway. So
a special exclusive stream.
Yeah.
But how do you make it exclusive?
It wouldn't really be exclusive. It couldn't be. So I say, yeah, but like really it would just be a, you know. Honestly, I feel like I'd kind of like to do it anyway, just because I'm so amazed at how well it's done. And I think it would be kind of nice to just do that. Just as a thank you.
I don't understand what you'd be doing.
Drawing a couple sketches, giving away the way that I would do normally for a subscriber, like for, you know.
Giving them away to the Kickstarter people?
No.
It doesn't make sense then.
No, I can't. Okay.
So why would you do sketches? It doesn't make sense what you're doing.
No.
If you're going to do something for the Kickstarter, then you need to do something for the Kickstarter.
I don't know how.
Just randomly doing.
Okay, we'll try and figure it out.
I think
we will argue about this here.
Yes,
I will win.
You won't win, but you could try.
You know what? When you define the term,
you know what the problem
you always
is?
Win.
I have a science degree, and so I argue from logic.
So I watched,
and you argue from nonsense.
Speaking of watching YouTube and dumb stuff on YouTube, I watched this thing on fake martial artists. I've actually seen a few,
and I rest my point.
And there's this dude that is like 300 and
I made
whatever.
My point. Rest my case.
Yes, 300 and whatever and zero, never lost. You know what? I think he's pretty disturbed. So I mean, I shouldn't. But you know what? They're entertaining videos, and he challenged Deontay Wilder, and I mean, he got beat up by Floyd Mayweather Sr. and then sucker punched him like craziness. But after he gets beat up by these people or chased out of the ring, then the next day he claims it as a win because he's completely out of his mind. Anyway, I'm saying that from now on. That's how I'm defining victory. I always win, even when I lose.
Well, then you're gonna win because you're gonna lose. But I'm glad that you have that positive outlook on life, Dave.
There you go. Yeah.
Hold on to that positivity.
All right.
Nick from Detroit says, "Mom and Dad are fighting again." So funny. I know. No, that won't work. But I'm thinking about stuff. All right. Nick, not a person, says there's probably some way to email the stream link to only Kickstarter backers. It could be included like a stream link mailed out with the books. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you can email just to your Kickstarter backers. That's true. There is a way. I know that's true. Not a person. I know for a fact that's true. But I also know that people who back Kickstarter, not everybody reads their email. I know that. Because I've had people email me like a year after the Kickstarter closed and says,
"Oh, here we go."
Say, "Did the books go out?" I'm like, yes.
Meredith, the customer is always right.
The customer is always right. The books went out. But I'll always, if somebody says they didn't get a book, send a book.
Yes.
All right. Arnold May II wants to know a random question. Are there a lot of left-handed comic book artists in the industry?
Not a huge amount. Okay, if I had to guess, because I don't actually really know, because I never keep track, I would say it's probably a little bit more than the general population.
A higher average number of lefties.
But there are a lot of righties, for sure.
There's a lot, but there's still a lot. Kevin Mandeville, arguing with Meredith is like nuclear war, Dave. Does anybody ever win?
Yeah, no.
Jim Klein has a super chat for $5. Any chance you'd be up for studying the Marvel painting by Greg and Tim Hildebrand on one of the painting streams one of these days? Love their work.
Yeah, actually, and I've watched a video of them painting, and it was really amazing. And it was very much like tile painting. What I mean by that is you're using reference, which again is fine, and you're looking at, okay, this little section of the face or whatever it is this color, this tone, and whatever, and they can just mix it and hit it perfectly, and then they move on to the next little section. I do not have the ability to do that, so I can't paint in that style exactly. It would be, I just can't. I have to build to things much more, unfortunately. But I would really, really love to get Greg Staples to come on. I actually reached out to him on Instagram, and he never got back to me. And I can't begrudge him because I missed messages on Instagram for months. So maybe he just didn't want to do it, or maybe he just hasn't seen it, and I don't know. But I would love to have him. That would be incredible. Yeah, there are definitely a few.
Fads has another super chat for $7.99. Fads wants to know, how can I get a copy of some of Dave's older art books? Are they for sale somewhere? I don't think any of the sketchbooks, like, we don't sell the old sketchbooks. You might be able to get copies off of eBay.
Yeah, I'm down to so few copies here that I keep them, and every once in a while I begrudgingly give somebody a sketchbook if they, like friends or whatever, but I've only got a few.
Yeah, we've got like enough to give the grandkids, basically.
Yeah.
So check eBay. That's the best I can offer. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember, there was a retailer that ordered a whole bunch. He said, "Hey, if I buy, like 30 copies or whatever, will you give me a discount?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" And now I'm like, "Oh, I want those books back, man." giving them away for nothing, for less anyway, and I would just rather have them.
Rick Inglaze 123 says, "Hey, Meredith, hey, Dave, better late than never."
Hey, Ricky. A lot of people coming in late.
Yeah, busy night tonight. Maybe they're watching football.
Oh, maybe. Is tonight a football night?
It's Monday night.
Yeah, but it's playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I only ever know. I didn't even know when the Super Bowl is. All I know is that Super Bowl is when I go and eat food.
Yeah.
I enjoy the game too.
Oh, yeah.
So. All right, Dave, it's 9:55.
So you want an
I
update?
feel like, well, I feel like I'm slurring my words because I'm tired.
Okay, well, the bad news is that it's going to take a little longer than I would like. The good news is it's only going to be about another 10 minutes. You live?
I can. Everybody says no football tonight.
Okay.
Super Bowl is 2 weeks from now. Playoffs ended this weekend. All right.
I saw that the Bengals. See, my problem is I haven't watched football in years, and the last game I watched, the Bengals beat Tennessee, and I'm like, holy crap, the Bengals, man, they're like, one of the worst teams out there. But yeah, it's been too long since I watched. And Tom Brady retired.
Yeah.
End of an era.
Yeah. That means someone's got a chance. Would he win three Super Bowls in a row?
Oh, I don't know, but he's won a lot.
Pizza Monster wants to know, if you happen to see this, would it be possible to reprint the old sketchbooks? Unfortunately, I don't think we have the old files.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, do you?
Yep, I have a folder of every single thing that we printed in the last sketchbook, the hardcover.
Oh, there you go.
The earlier ones, I don't, unfortunately. But the last one, yeah, I have every file. I just saved it at the time in its own file, and so I still have it.
Oh, there you go.
Years later. So yes,
So
actually.
The question to would it be possible? Yes. Let's get the Kickstarter out of the way first, though. One mailing at a time. That's good to know, Dave. I mean, who knows? Maybe on we've got a few old hard drives sitting around somewhere.
Yeah, we do. I need to maybe you get one of those experts to come and,
take them in to an expert.
Yeah, see if you can retrieve stuff off of them.
Just put them on a big hard drive. Dustin Rogers has a super chat for $4.99. Sorry, I had Dion.
Okay.
Thank you again for all the how-to videos. They're great. Did I miss the big update? Dustin, the big update was that the Kickstarter for the Monday Night Draw book has launched. And Eric has very kindly pinned it to the top of the chat. So if you click on the link there, on my screen it's blue with the yellow box that says Dave Finch. It'll take you right to the Kickstarter page.
Yes, and thank you.
Thank you for joining.
This pen, these things go so fast, and this one's not working. You know what? Let me switch.
Dave, do you ink the same way you would ink if you're going to get colored versus black and white?
Yes,
it's all the same.
Exactly. And actually, I can be okay. This is looser than I would be for something. I want to say for something that would be printed, but Marvel ended up using a lot of these. Unfortunately, I'm under contract, so I can't do that anymore. But so I have had these printed too, like this kind of level of detail. It is the same process, though. I did a video on how to scan and clean up your artwork. A lot of people pointed out that there are better ways to do it. So, read the comments. I recommend it because there are easier ways, but my way works and I still do it because I'm old. So what I would do is just bring this into Photoshop and then I kill the blue off. Looking at the screen here, this actually looks more gray than blue. It's non-repro blue, so it doesn't reprint, but it will show up. So I adjust the slider and get rid of it, and then adjust levels, make the darks darker, the lights lighter, then clean it up a little bit. Like you can see here, I got a bunch of garbage that this is just working too fast. I wasn't letting the ink dry. I would just clean that kind of thing up, and then boom, That's it. That's all you have to do. And you have to save it as a TIFF at 600 DPI. That's really the whole deal right there.
I love how you just say boom.
Boom,
there
done.
you go. Done.
You know what I need to do?
What do you need to do?
By the way, where are we with the Jim Lee update? Has anybody been pressuring Jim Lee to come on? I heard that he hadn't responded. So, you know, if you guys want to stay on that one, keep harassing the poor guy. But yeah, I really should learn how he does. I don't watch enough. He uses like a Kleenex or whatever and does all this cool cloud stuff. I should really
Learn how to do it.
Okay. So for his face, I'm going to use my smaller pen because that other pen is really kind of played out. Not sure if you're aware, but you're totally quiet right now.
It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to sleep now.
10 o'clock is when you go on strike.
It's the witching hour.
All right.
It's done. I turned into a pumpkin.
I'm almost done. Not really.
Tag says it's toilet paper he uses, which is different from Kleenex. It probably wicks it up differently.
Yeah, with toilet paper, it kind of breaks down.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Good to know.
I'm sorry. Nick from Detroit. Meredith is clocked out. I punched my ticket. Ching ching. So if you're just joining us, let's just reiterate that the Kickstarter has now launched so that you can get your own copy of season 1 Monday Night Draw, the book. It's got it's 7 by 11. It is a 52-page book that includes black and white and painted illustrations. So all the characters that we've had over the course of our first season, I think a full 1 year. Was it like May to June or like it was more than 12 months?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was just over a year.
You can get it, and there's a goal to get a T-shirt. You can get a T-shirt that says Monday Night Draw. I mean, at this point, there should be a T-shirt that says I've been banned by Meredith.
There should be. You have not banned anybody for a while.
I have not banned anybody for a while. I've been very nice. I'm trying to turn over nicely for 2022, apparently.
Well, that's a good thing.
Simon Kucher says, Jim Lee was talking about your art in one of his latest drawing streams. He is a fan, but he is not crashing under pressure. Darn it, his way of making things not easy, legendary, like his art.
He's not cracking under pressure.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to email him.
Yeah, if you want him,
I'm going to bite the bullet.
You have to do it. Alejandro Moreno has a super chat for $5. I'm so happy I get to see this live stream for the very first time. The living legend himself, David Finch, and his amazing, beautiful wife, Meredith.
Oh, wow.
And this is why I'm off the camera, so that you can think that I'm beautiful based on all the photos on the internet.
What is that? Somebody else?
Wow. Harsh.
What I said is, are you saying that the photos on the internet are somebody else?
I'm saying that the pictures on the internet actually look good.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure there are bad pictures of me online too, but as opposed to, spending all day in the barn,
right,
dirty hair, I've got my pajama pants on, but I haven't put my pajama top on yet. Yeah. I have no makeup. Hair's askew.
I hear you.
Nose is probably red because it's running all night. So there you go.
We're burning through now.
Jim Klein has another super chat for $5. Meredith, what hoops are you going to make Jimmy Reyes jump through to get one of those shirts? Oh, don't you worry, Jim. I'm going to send, first of all, Jason a text that says, whatever happens when Jimmy Reyes orders, if he does, if you see his name on the Kickstarter, he's not getting a t-shirt. He's going to have to drive to freaking Amherstburg, Ontario, Canada, across the border, take how many like COVID tests you have to take to get over the border and back over the border to get that t-shirt. That's right.
Well, I'm all for that. I'd love to see Jimmy. Come by anytime, Jimmy. All right.
Jimmy can, I'll make him dinner, but that's what he's gonna have to do. Dave, the layouts, are they signed or unsigned?
Well, I still have them here, so I guess I'll make sure to sign them.
We can send them signed. Supersonico wants to know.
Yeah, I'll make sure to sign them. But they're currently unsigned. I mean, they're just layouts.
Yeah,
so.
but we'll sign them. I'll make sure he signs them. Nate Lucas, I asked your question. He said he inks it exactly the same if it's going to be colored or if it's not going to be colored. His inks are his inks.
Yeah.
So I did ask your question, Nate.
Now, and that is because my style is predicated on my penciling is based on being inked, and my inks are based on being colored. So, and that's from years of working with inkers and colorists. So, yeah. I never really developed a, I'm doing this all myself style. As it is, like inking even, truthfully, is a little more new for me. I mean, I spent years never inking a single thing. And I've spent the last, several years inking quite a bit more, but I'm definitely more of a penciler. Although it always feels strange to just pencil now. I'm so used to doing this.
Harper Comics wants to know if the images in the book are just drawn from the screens like a magazine or other stuff.
There are a few things that weren't on the stream that we just kind of threw in there because I really wanted to have them in the book, but 90% for sure is just stuff from the stream. Like there, there are a couple of things like a cover or two that I just really liked and I just wanted to put in, but it's mostly the stream stuff.
All right. And Claudio Rogojan has a super chat for $2. What was the big announcement? I got here late. The Kickstarter's live. Eric put a link at the top of the chat.
Yes.
Atomic Art says, it looks so sick. Fire, fire. One mighty R. Your inking is super on point. Fire, fire.
Thank you. I'm almost done. I am really just like running at the speed of thought right now just to get it done before Meredith melts down.
Nobody wants a Meredith meltdown.
This is where, experience comes in because I'm so like, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just like, and a lot of times it's fun to work this way. But, you'll burn out if you try and do this too often. It will definitely hamper your work. But every once in a while, it's nice.
Alejandro Moreno has another super chat for $5. One more reason I had to join you guys tonight was because the Punisher is my absolute favorite Marvel character.
Yeah, he's definitely up there for me.
Ezra Ezekiel says, please draw Rogue from X-Men. Ezra, we did do Rogue from X-Men.
Did we? No, we have not. Not yet.
I'm pretty sure you did a Rogue.
I tell you right now, I have not done Rogue.
You didn't do Rogue?
No.
Maybe on a giveaway?
No, I have not drawn Rogue. I'm telling you.
What do you know?
Yes, and
maybe because you did Gambit.
There you go. Yeah, I would like to do Rogue actually. Rogue is a great choice because, she's a great choice for a head sketch, and I would probably end up doing a full figure, so it wouldn't matter. But her hair is so identifiable, you can do a head sketch and it works. There are some characters people ask for a head sketch. I'm like, oh, how am I going to make it obvious that it's the particular character? It can be a challenge. Okay.
You got it? You got it. Oh, Johnny D says, I'm thinking of the Psylocke you drew. There you go.
Whew. Done.
You did it.
Yep.
All right.
Don't normally crank it at that fast at the end.
Thank you, honey. See, you do love me.
Yes, I do. All right.
So uncomfortable when he has to acknowledge it. All right. Thank you guys for an awesome night and for making the Kickstarter launch ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yes.
Justin Rogers just super chatted for 49 saying, just back the Kickstarter will include Drizzt.
Drizzt will be next year, unfortunately,
Drizzt.
because we're in season 2 right now.
And can we get Mark Silvestri on stream?
Oh, yes, that would be great. I will work on that for sure. I will see. Fingers crossed. That would be amazing. But yes, Drizzt, basically everything that I've done from September last year is season 2. So we've already got a ton, and we've got a lot more to go before we have our summer break again. And I want to say also, I don't know what to say. Thank you guys so much for the support. I hope you guys love the book. Yeah, it's so far done so much better than I could have hoped. And, we really
all because of you guys.
Yes, we
It's
owe you
all
guys.
because of you guys, because you guys are the
so
only
much.
people who know that it's live right now.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, it's not announced anywhere else. We hit the goal and surpassed it just with you guys on the stream. So really, yeah, thank you. Don't know what to say. Thank you very much. And please, everyone, have a great week. And we will see you guys next week. All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody.